Next up, we have Jim Miller versus Nikolas Motta. Miller's coming in as a plus 150 underdog. Motta coming in as a negative 175 favorite. Fern, how'd you break down this fight?
Jim Miller. Excited to watch this fight. He's a guy who's up there in age. I believe he has a record for most UFC appearances. Last fight, I believe he was at number 38. He's fought everyone in the weight class. You know, looking at his record, it's Clay Guida, Charles Oliveira, Dan Hooker, Anthony Pettis, Dustin Poirier, Thiago Alves, Joe Lozon, Takanori Gomi, Diego Sanchez, Michael Kisa, Danny Castillo, Donald Cerrone, Joe Lozon, Nate Diaz, Melvin Gillard, Benson Henderson, Gleason Tebow, Dwayne Ludwig. Like, it's crazy who he's fought. And definitely love watching him. He's an exciting fighter that can win, and he can hang with the top level guys. Like, everyone I mentioned has fought for the title or is, has been a champion or, been close to. His last fight was very exciting to watch because, as he's getting up there in age, people are wondering, like, can he still keep up with these young guys? He fought 3 times in 2020, which is outrageous for anybody, let alone a guy who's, getting up there in age and getting up there in fights. His last fight was very exciting KO. That was the fight that I analyzed and will be breaking down. And before that, he had 2 unanimous decision losses. So people were, that knockout's coming off of people thinking, again, he's old. He's getting older. Is he slowing down? What is he going to decide to do? He really needs to look at what he's doing. So in his last fight, he was doing a great job of parrying. Again, having that proper stance helps him just bat down the person's lead hand, the lead jab, and lead blocking from southpaw stance. So he was able to block the punch and then just come overhand left. Counter ready guard stance, focused on the back step a lot, which was cool to see. Like, a lot of these older guys kind of get set in their ways. He had so much movement going backward that you just know he was looking for a counter, which isn't really his style. He's more been like a person known for wrestling or grinding a decision out. It was great to see him focus on his hands and trying to keep it standing. When he got a takedown, he had great top control. He mounted, he almost mounted, but he was in guard and was just smothering him. Round 2, he was very active when he got taken down. And he's got great submissions from the back, overhooks to control punches, elbows from the bottom. So in that fight where he got the KO, it was literally within seconds of round 2. They come in the middle, parries, blocks, overhand left, slumps them. And so it was great to see him be able to keep up and kind of shut everyone up and get that record-setting performance for appearances. For Motta, he's a fighter that's coming from Dana White Contender Series. It's been a while since he fought. He last fought in November 2020. So, he's coming off of a little over a year layoff. This is going to be his first UFC fight. In watching his fight, he did a great job of just relaxing. They kept mentioning that he just has natural power. He swings, has a high guard, and it's weird. He has like those kind of arm punches that most people tell you like it's just wrong technique. He's not turning his hips into it. He's not moving his shoulders. He just, every time he connected, he landed, and he ended up causing a broken nose early on, which made his opponent start being afraid. And in return, he tried to come forward more, which ended up just playing into Motta's technique. He's got those great heavy hands behind that high guard. Strong left hook, which is weird because the lead hand is usually a jab, and his lead hand was always a strong left hook. So just kind of the opposite of what you expect when they're out there kind of keeping the distance. Strong left hook from the orthodox stance instead of the left jab or the right hook. It made it very exciting to fight to watch. He was just power punching his way through whatever stance. And then once he kind of gets set up with that, he starts looking for the right high kick. And after a couple of those, you notice he then starts going the left body kick. So it's great to see. He kind of does the textbook, like, I'm going to aim for this area, then I'm going to switch it up and aim for this area, and now I'm going to the complete opposite. And like just doing the level change with striking. You see that a lot with grappling, and it's great to see him utilize it with striking, just mixing it up consistently. His combos are 3 to 4 punches every time. And, most people are just ready to block one or two punches, and he's able to land the third or fourth punch consistently. Ended up dropping his opponent, and then just, again, keeps him afraid. Just, I don't know, like, if he whips his shoulder the right way or what, but it just was weird to see him just have those naturally heavy hands. And just loud punches as well. Like, I don't know who else I could compare that to. Maybe you have somebody you think of, Colby, when you think of who hit hard or you could hear them hit. Like, I might think of, like, kicking wise, like Thiago Alves, who would land a leg kick and just, like, snap. But Motta, like, his punches, you could just hear them. And it helped, obviously, that it was, like, during, the Apex arena where it's kind of loud. But just every punch was just thudding and solid. So with this one, I'm going to go with Jim Miller. And who do you think, like, who does that remind you of?
I was going to say, I mean, Izzy, when he's actually striking, he throws his jab, right hand, any hand strike that he throws is hitting hard. Jorge Masvidal is another one. Even though he didn't take out Usman, the few times they did land, they look like they hurt. They are powerful strikes, and you can really hear them. Those are the two guys I think of for sure. So, but you're saying that Motta has a kind of a, because I'm not familiar, I haven't seen any of his fights. He has kind of a strange style where he just kind of goes against what you would think of as a good striking technique, but it seems to work.
Yeah, it's just his lead hand, instead of being a jab, is just consistently the hook. And again, that just, with your lead hand, you usually want to create distance, and the hook just eliminates that little inch or two of distance because you're curling your arm a little bit in. You want to create some distance, and for him to, like, take that away naturally, requires him to then step in a little bit more to make up for that lack of distance his arm is now making, but he's landing it. And I think it's just weird because, again, no one expects, like, you're going to jab me straight on, not you're going to hook me every time. And he was able to drop his opponent a couple times, and yeah, it was even on the commentary that they were just like, he just naturally has power and doesn't have to wind up, doesn't do anything. And I think it plays into his style that he fights that way. It's really weird.
Interesting. And so your pick is
my pick is going to be Miller. Been rooting for the older guys these last couple fights. I want to see them go out with a bang. Like, their time is winding down, and I just want to see all these guys make one last run and continue to show that their skills are just, it's been earned. And he hasn't fought in the UFC 38 times for being, a guy who's terrible. Let's get 39 or 40. Yeah. Like, I'd love to see that eventually.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Miller too. I definitely want to see him do well. And what I'm really curious about is Miller's a veteran, so I wonder if Motta, his unorthodox style, is actually some kind of an innovation, or is it just the people that he's fought haven't been able to reveal that it's a bad technique. So I
right.
think this is going to be really interesting. Miller being the veteran that he is, if that kind of style is not really, going to work at the highest levels, I feel like Miller's going to expose it. But it'd be really interesting to see a new, or an unorthodox kind of striking style actually do well at the higher levels of the UFC. So yeah, looking forward to this one.